Good day, everyone. Welcome to our first topic on how to use Adobe InDesign. So to start off, try natin gumawa ng bagong document. So to do that, we can either click File, the File tab, hover our cursor dito sa New section, then click Document, or basically, or to make it simple, let's click the New File button. So by clicking that, a new window pops, and here we have multiple options. So since our intent is to make a printable document, let's click Print. Then click View All Presets para makita natin lahat ng mga possible sizes ng ating document. So for this topic, let's make the page size A4. Dito naman sa right section, you can see multiple parameters. And by default, sineset ni InDesign ang mga parameters into PICAS. So to change the unit, we can simply just click PICAS and then change it to inches for our topic ngayon. Then sa first and second parameter, we can see our width and height. So this modifies the dimension or the size of our pages. So by clicking A4, it automatically sets our width and height. Beside it is our orientation. By making this blue, by clicking it, this makes our page in portrait mode. By clicking this naman, this makes it landscape. But for now, let's make it in portrait mode. The next parameters would be our pages and starting pages or starting page. So basically, this modifies the number of pages of our document. And then, yung sinasabi naman dito is, sinasabi nito kung what page number magsa-start yung ating document. So for this, for our topic, let's just make them 1. Dito sa ating next parameter, this is what we call as our columns. So basically, columns talks about the vertical divisions of our document. The next parameter is our margin. So basically, yung margin natin, yun yung parang imaginary inner border na like it serves as a visual guide for us to refer, especially if our intention is to make our objects like the pictures, the text, and the graphics na hindi sumagat sa papel or sa edges ng ating papel. So by taking this up, tataas yung padding ng ating margins. So as you can see, by modifying the top margin, namomodify din yung iba nating mga sides. To deactivate that, we can click the link button to unlink them so that once na mag-modify tayo dito, let's say itong inside, siya lang yung mamamodify. But to make it simple, or at least for this topic, let's make it 0.5. Next is our bleed and slug. So basically, the bleed and slug is a printing concern para maging maayos yung pag-print ng ating mga pages, especially sa mga edges. But for now, gawin na lang natin tong 0. And then once na ma-settle natin lahat ng mga parameters or preset details, let's click Create. Now, we've arrived in our what we call as our workspace. So sa workspace, we have multiple panels here. If you're new to InDesign, yung makita nyong workspace is this one, naka-essentials. But to make it, paano ba to sabihin? To make it complex, but still easy to work on, and is relevant sa ating intent to make a printable document, let's change the Essentials tab into Advanced. So by this, we have been introduced into some new panels. So basically, our workspace has multiple parts. The topmost part is our tab panel or application tab. This consists of options that goes beyond our document, within and beyond our document. Like for example, our tab or our file tab here. If ever that we want to make a new document, let's just click File, then New here, and then Document. Just like what we've recognized kanina. Another one is the Windows tab. So if some of you doesn't have the color panel like this one, we can simply click the Window tab, navigate to the color section, and then click color. So let's say wala akong color panel. We'll just simply click Window, Color, and then the color panel. So this one. So if may experience kayo sa Photoshop, just like Photoshop, our workspace or our panels in our workspace are movable, and it can be arranged in multiple manners depending kung ano yung preference natin. So like this, we can change it here, we can place it here, we can minimize it. But for the sake of our topic ngayon, ilagay muna natin yung color tab or color panel, here. So aside from our tabs panel and our other panels, we also have the tools panel. So here we are being introduced into new tools, the selection tool, direct selection tool, the page tool, and many more. So for the next topics, we'll try exploring some of the tools, some of the useful tools na most likely magagamit natin sa pag-edit, sa pag-layout. Then below our tabs panel is our controls panel. So this controls the properties of our object. So what do we mean by object? So like what I've said kanina, an object is any element na makikita natin sa ating page. So for example, by clicking rectangle tool, then holding our cursor inside the page, then holding left click, Then releasing it, we made a new object, which is our rectangular object. So for this, makita natin na nagbago or at least na-highlight yung ibang mga parameters sa ating controls panel. So once na we've made a new object, lahat ng mga parameters nito refers to that object. Like for example, if you want our rectangle here to have a green background, let's just click this, click fill, then scroll down, just click our preferred color, let's say green. So by that, naging green ang ating rectangle. Aside from that, we can also change the stroke of our object. You can change it into, let's say, red. And right now, hindi natin siya masyadong nakikita since hindi siya ganun kakapal. So to change the thickness of our stroke, let's just navigate here and then take this up to make it thicker. So now we've made our first object. So aside from that, to move and to resize our object, we can simply click V or click the selection tool icon like this. By clicking that and dragging our rectangle, we can move it into multiple places. Furthermore, by setting or by aligning our cursor sa mga edges dito, pwede nating palitan or pwede nating i-manipulate yung length and then yung width ng ating rectangle. Or if you want to make it or to make the rectangle's dimension exact, we can change it here sa widths and height section. So by changing it into 5 inches, we can make a 5 by 5 square. Furthermore, by hovering our cursor sa outside but still near the corners of our object, let's say dito sa ating top right corner, by hovering it dito malapit, may makita tayo ditong parang curved arrow that refers na pwede nating i-rotate ang ating object like this, like that, or like this. So as you can see, while we are in the process of rotating the object, we can see here the angle na sineset natin sa ating object. So let's say, let's say we want it in 45 degrees. So by watching the angles sa right side ng ating cursor, we can set our object in our preferred angle. So let's say 45 degree. This makes it a diamond shaped object. Okay, so for now, we've talked about how to make a document. We've also talked about the different panels in our workspace. And we've also made our first object here. So for the next topic, let's try exploring some properties in making or in placing images in our document. Hello everyone, welcome to the second topic on how to use Adobe InDesign. So previously, nag-try tayo on how to make a new document. Now, our main goal here is to place and to manipulate image objects. But before that, mag-explore muna tayo ng additional features in our workspace. So to start, we know na by clicking V, we can select any object. Let's say we make another rectangular tool or rectangular object. We set a color to its background para mas makita natin. By clicking V, we can simply drag it in different positions. Now, if we want to drag the whole page, we can use what we call as the hand tool. So by clicking the hand icon, we can simply drag the whole page. Or one convenient way is, let's say we go back to the selection tool. If we want to drag it quickly, we can simply hold space and then drag. And then once we're done dragging, i-release lang natin yung space bar. There you go. So, aside from that, we also recognize the multiple panels in our workspace, the tab panel, the controls panel, the tools panel, and the other panels that we can add or even remove depending on our needs. Dito sa gitna, this white rectangle that represents our page is what we call as our canvas. So, sa loob ng canvas, dito natin makikita yung mga objects na mapiprint once na i-print natin yung document. Beyond the canvas, itong gray areas, this is what we call as the pasteboard. So, para saan yung pasteboard? Yung pasteboard, this is where we can place objects that we want to be removed sa page, pero ayaw natin silang ma-delete entirely. So, let's say, example is, let's say, gusto natin mawala itong rectangle sa page, pero ayaw natin siyang i-delete. So we can basically drag this object into the pasteboard. So let's say we have multiple objects. One way to make duplicates of the same object is by holding Control, then clicking C to copy it, and then by pasting it. To do that, we have to click or hold Control, and then click V. So we've made a duplicate. Let's say we make another good duplicate. And another duplicate. And another duplicate. So right now we have 5 elements. 4 of them ay nasa labas ng canvas, and 1 of them is nasa loob. In order to only see the objects that will be printed once we save the file or the document, we can simply click W. So by this, mawawala yung mga guides like yung mga margins and also yung mga elements or objects sa labas ng ating canvas. So by going back, pindutin na lang natin ulit yung W. So next, habang nasa selection tool pa rin tayo, if we want to select multiple elements simultaneously, we can simply click one object, hold Shift, then click the other objects. That's one way. Yung isa pang paraan, kapag adjacent o magkakatabi yung mga objects na gusto nating iselect, we can simply hold the left mouse button, then drag it such that matatamaan yung mga objects na gusto natin iselect. Let's say, yung dalawang rectangle sa kanan. So by doing this and releasing the left mouse button, masaselect natin sila. Or if we want to select all of the objects in our workspace, we can simply hold Control and then click A to select them all. So by selecting multiple objects, we can simultaneously manipulate them. Pwede natin silang i-drag ng sabay-sabay. Pwede rin natin silang i-manipulate in terms of size. Pwede rin natin silang i-delete by clicking the backspace button. If we want to undo, or kung gusto natin bumalik bago natin gawin yung previous action natin, we can simply hold Control and then click Z to undo our previous action. Kung gusto naman natin i-restore yung action na inundo natin last time, we can click Control or hold Control, Shift, and then click Z para ma-redo yung action. So now that we know how to use the hand tool and how to select multiple elements, what if we want multiple pages? So if you want to add more pages, we have to find or navigate the page panel. So this is the page panel. After navigating it, just left click it to find or to view the current pages in our document. So currently, isa pa lang yung page natin sa ating document. If we want to make or to add new pages, pindutin lang natin itong plus sign, then left click. By doing that, we now have 2 pages. But what if we add more pages? So let's click this again. By doing that, 3 na yung pages natin. But one difference na makikita natin ngayon is the first page ay mag-isa lang, the second ay magkapares. So here, we have 2 types, or in Adobe InDesign, we have 2 types of page organization. The first type is what we call a single page. Yung single page, sila usually yung first page and even yung last page kapag even number yung pages. And then another type of page organization are what we call as spreads, na kung saan dalawa yung page na nakikita natin sa ating canvas. So bakit ganito? We have spreads to virtually view kung paano makikita yung ating document once na na-print natin siya. Let's say we want to make a newspaper or a book. Usually, yung una natin makikita is yung first page. Then yung left side niya would be blank, which since yun yung pabalat. Then the second and third page will be adjacent. Since yung format ng ating document is parang in a book format. Now to make another page, we can click this same button again to have 4 pages. So as kung ano yung nasabi ko kanina, if even number yung page, the first and the last page would be single page. And then the remaining pages in between would be paired up into spreads. So that's how we can make new pages. What if we want to delete it? We just have to click this. So we now have 3 pages again. Okay, so now that we learned about adding pages, let's try adding pictures or image objects. So how do we do that? One way to do it is to navigate the File tab, clicking it, and then click Place, and then navigate the image in your File Explorer. Or one way that I usually do, that you can also do it conveniently, is by opening the File Explorer app, navigating the picture, and let's say we use this puppy picture. By selecting this picture and then holding left click, then dragging the picture inside the canvas, we can conveniently place it in our document. So right now, nasa cursor pa lang natin yung picture. To place it, let's hold the left mouse button again, then drag as much as we want depending how large the picture should be. Let's say ganito. Then just release the left mouse button. Now we now have a picture of a puppy in our document. Now by just like sa rectangle object natin previously, we can drag the object in different positions. But notice what happens if i-manipulate ko yung height and width. If you are to manipulate the length, instead of making it smaller, parang nakrap lang natin yung picture. Bakit ganon? So in image objects, we have 2 parts, the frame and the content itself. So imagine na lahat ng pictures sa InDesign ay may picture frame. Yung picture frame na ito, when we select a frame, yung guide natin is colored blue. So this guide, these parts. If we double click the picture, now we are currently selecting the content or the image itself inside the frame. Makita natin na naging red yung guide. So this says na it's the content that we're currently manipulating. So if we try to manipulate the length again, what we can see here is na stretch horizontally yung, or rather na stretch vertically yung ating picture. So let's undo them. Let's say I wanted to make it smaller. So by doing this, we're just cropping it. So let's undo it again. If we want to make the picture smaller while still keeping the proportions the same, or basically kapag gusto nating palitin or palakihin yung picture nang hindi na stretch, habang nasa selection tool tayo, we can simply hold Control, Shift, and then resize however we want. Pwede natin lakihan, pwede natin litin. So like that. So just like sa rectangular objects, we can also rotate them. If we want to flip the picture inside our control panel, for this lets us flip either horizontally or vertically. So bumaliktad siya. So in the next topic, let's proceed on how to use the text tool, how to make text, and how to manipulate them. Hello everyone, welcome to our third topic on how to use Adobe InDesign. So previously, we've recognized the hand tool and the other ways kung paano tayo mag-drag ng canvas. We also talked about how to add and remove pages, and also how to place and manipulate pictures or image objects. Now, yung i-explore naman natin is how to make text. So in making text, we have to use the text tool by clicking this icon or simply clicking or typing T. By doing that, nasa text tool na tayo, and by firstly clicking the left mouse button, then hovering the mouse in this manner, we can make what we call as a text box. So if we are to zoom in and out, on how to zoom in and out, we can either hold Control, then plus, or Control minus if you want to zoom out, or simply hold Alt and scroll up to zoom in or scroll down to zoom out. So let's zoom out a bit first. Click the hand tool or space to drag it, release it, and then while we are currently in the selection tool, to manipulate the text, we can simply double click it. So let's say we have to make a title on this picture. Let's say we name this Doggy, the Pomeranian. Now we've made our first text. To manipulate the text, we first have to select all of the words that we intend to manipulate. If we intend to manipulate all of the words inside the text box, we can simply click Ctrl A. Or we can simply select the whole text box. So right now we are still in the typing process. If we click V instead of going to the selection tool, we instead type the letter V. So to escape this, by the name itself, just click Escape to escape the text mode. So by clicking that, we went back to the selection tool, we automatically selected the text box, and now we can select the whole all of the words inside this text box. So let's say we want our text to be larger. By scrolling down the properties panel, we can navigate this icon which modifies the font size. So we can click this. If we want to increase or decrease it exponentially, or at least as exaggerated, we can simply hold Shift, then click this para mag-increase yung font nila ng mas mabilis. So just like any other objects, as long as nasa selection tool tayo, we can adjust its width to make it aligned sa ating picture. Now, let's click escape again. And then click W. Then scroll down. As we can see, once na na-print natin ito, hindi aligned yung word or yung set of words. Despite na or kahit na aligned yung kanyang text box. To make it aligned, let's go back to the editing mode. Select this and then make the alignment centered. How do we do that? You can simply find this part, the paragraph section, then click this to make it centered. Now to free up unused space like this, yung nasa left and right natin, we can simply double click the top right or the bottom right corner to compress the text box and para mas neat siya tignan, kumbaga. Then we can just manually align them. By default, Adobe InDesign enables auto alignment or snapping. So kung makikita natin dito, once na gumit na siya, we can see a vertical violet line na nagsasabi na nasa gitna na yung object na sineselect natin. Now, instead of just manually manipulating the font size here, if we want to align its size to another object, we can Control Shift and Alt, then increase its size in such a way na nasa gitna pa rin yung ating text. So we can see here, habang hindi ko nire-release yung left mouse button ko, nag-i-increase yung size ng ating text box while still keeping the object centered. So let's say i-align ko siya ng ganito. Now magka-align na sila. Now if you want to change the font type or the font style, you can select this again, find the character section, then select our chosen font. Let's say we use this font. So right now, our text box doesn't show the text. Hindi na pinapakita, and may makikita tayo ditong square na plus sign. So in this current state, ibig sabihin nito ay overset yung ating text box, in which once na we export this into a PDF file and meron tayong text box na hindi nag-display properly since overset siya, it will release an error. So, paano natin makikita yung error dito? Makikita natin yung mga errors by navigating down, then clicking this part, double-clicking it, rather. And now, this shows the list of errors that we should fix. So in this case, we have a instance na overset yung text. So to make it detailed, overset yung isang text kapag hindi kasya yung text, yung mga characters sa loob ng text box relative to the text box size. So by clicking this, na-navigate tayo automatically sa na malfunction or na error na object. So to fix this, we just simply increase the text box by not increasing the text size by only holding Alt. Then double click the bottom right again to make it compact, making it centered, holding Control Shift and then manually centering it out again. Oops, rather Control Shift and Alt. So at first, yung mga keybinds o yung mga commands na mga sinasabi ko might be intimidating initially or even hard to remember, but through time, by practicing it a lot, or hindi naman a lot, like regularly, masasanay din naman tayo niyan. So now that nasa gitna na siya, we click W, we can now see that the text box along with the image object are now aligned. We can also manipulate the font color inside the text box by going in our control panel, clicking this. Now, in the control panel, we now have two options: a box type option or a rectangular icon or a letter T icon. So whenever na naka-highlight to or naka-shaded pala to, it says na yung minamanipulate natin na part is yung text box. If we click this naman, what we are currently manipulating is the text inside the text box. So let's say we want this to be brown. Currently, walang brown dito. What we can do is to click this, then double-clicking it, then manipulating this parts. However, hindi siya ganun ka-intuitive. So how to make a new color? First, cancel muna natin to. Let's go back dito sa fill section. Let's make another color. Then instead of double-clicking it, let's go in the color section, click this, and then we have multiple options here. Now these four are different color types or color systems. So what we will usually be using is the CMYK system or the RGB system. So basically, online displays like websites, like websites and applications, use RGB because that's how pixels are being colored, by shining red, green, and blue light. However, since we are going to make a printed output, all printed outputs usually is being printed in a CMYK system such that kung makikita natin sa mga printer natin, we have 4 inks: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So to make it accurate, we'll use CMYK. So by using CMYK, or by clicking it, nakikita pa rin natin yung mga scales dito, and we can also interact with it. But to make it visually more intuitive, we can simply refer to this spectrum. So let's say brown. So brown is a darker kind of orange. We go beside or in between red and yellow to get orange. Then we darken it a bit by increasing the blackness of the color. Now we currently have a brown font color. Once we are settled, once na okay na ito, we can simply click away from the text box. So now we have a text box with a brown text. Okay, now that we know kung paano maglagay ng solid color sa ating text, we can also give it a gradient color. So let's say our gradient is brown and black, brown to black. Instead of going here, we can simply go here sa properties panel, click fill. Now we can have multiple options here, but since we want to make a new gradient, we click this. Now we have a new window. So by clicking this, we now have a black and white gradient. But we wanted to make a brown to black gradient. So to do that, we simply click this parts of our gradient. This is what we call the extremes. Meron tayong left and right extremes. Aside from this, we can add more colors to the gradient by clicking anywhere below this bar. So let's say we want 3 colors. We can do that. And once na settled na tayo sa number of colors sa gradient natin, we can now change their hue or their color by going here. Oops. By going here and then clicking anywhere we want here in the spectrum, and then adjusting it accordingly kung paano natin siya gagawing mas madilim or mas matingkad. Then once na kampante na tayo dito, we can now go to the second color, go back here. Ayan. So once na we are now settled sa gradient, we can now simply click away from the text box, and now we have a gradient text or gradient colored text. Now, if ever na gagawa tayo ng bagong text, let's say we make a random set of letters, and we want that letter to have the same color. Kapag solid color, lahat ng mga previous colors na nagawa natin is nagka-save na dito. So like this brown, we can simply, we have to select it first. We can use it again. Naka-text box tayo. Be sure na nasa text mode tayo whenever we manipulate their color. So click this. Now nasa brown na tayo. However, if we want to make or if we want to use the same gradient, we have to first save that gradient sa swatch. The swatch is a list of colors that we've previously used and we intend to use it again. So let's say we want to use this same gradient. Let's go to the appearance, fill, then you have to first go in the text, go to the gradient, and to save it, just click the triple bar, horizontal bar here, and then add to swatches. So that once na gumawa tayo ng bagong text box, like this text box, and we want to use the same gradient, we can simply go here and navigate that gradient. Now, nakagamit tayo ng gradient by using or by adding it to the swatch. Mag-step back muna tayo. We've learned about making text boxes, manipulating text boxes in terms of sizes, rotation, dealing with overset text or text boxes na kulang ang size relative sa number of text or the size of the text within it. We also set the text alignments, font style, and font color. Now, what if we want to make a paragraph text or a text box that has a paragraph full of text? So let me scroll or let me zoom out first. Adjust this a bit to give space. Make a new text box by clicking T, holding the left mouse button and dragging it in such a way na nasa gitna siya. Now, to make a sample paragraph, instead of spamming letters or spamming characters in the keyboard, we can make a sample text by going to the Type tab, then finding the Fill with Placeholder text. By doing that, we're being introduced with the lorem ipsum text. So basically, itong mga phrases, they're just randomly generated in such a way para ma-fill up lang yung text. So let's say we want to make it half, only half. By making it half, hindi lahat ng text ay makikita. So what will happen is, just like what happened previously, na-overset yung text. So to fix that, we can either enlarge it again by doing like this, or we can make another text box connecting it. So how do we do that? We simply click this. Now we have this kind of display in our cursor, such that when we hold left click or left mouse button, we are able to make another text box that connects or that continues the previous text. Wait a minute, let me adjust a bit. There you go. Now there are two text boxes that are connected from one another. So this is what we call as threaded text, in which the content of the first text box is being continued to the second text box. Now you can do this indefinitely as long as it is overset. Let's say we want 3. We can add more threaded text boxes. Now we have 3 columns of text box. Or if you want to make it even, instead of manually cutting the text box into 3 separate text boxes, we can go here sa text frame section, then go to the number of columns. We can simply increase it. Now as we can see here, the number of columns are now 3. However, the text for each column is not balanced. Kung makikita natin, yung first and second column puno, pero yung third is hindi. To make it balance, we can simply click this option, text frame option, or we can click or we can hold Control then B to open the same text frame option window. Go to the general part, then click or check balance columns. By checking this, all of the columns will have a balanced amount of text. By clicking this OK, it will now be saved. So ngayon, medyo pantay na yung tatlong columns. To encapsulate all of the concepts that we've learned, we've used the text box button or the text tool. Then we have learned how to manipulate it, to give color to the text, to change the font style and the font size, to deal with overset text, to use threaded text boxes, and to add columns and balancing them to have the same text density per column. Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth topic on how to use Adobe InDesign. So for today's topic, our main focus here is on how to use the pen tool and kung paano gamitin yung pen tool to make curved text boxes. So to start off, let me drag towards a blank empty page. By looking towards the tool panel, we can see two writing tools. The first is the pen tool, the second is the pencil tool. Let's try using the pencil tool by clicking the pencil icon or typing N. So if we are to hold on the left mouse button and then drag anywhere in the canvas, we can make doodles of lines following the route of our cursor. Now, one good thing in using the pencil tool is straightforward siya. Dadaanan niya lang, or kung ano yung madadaanan ng cursor mo, susundan niya lang. However, the bad side in using pencil tool, our lines are usually rough. Our next writing tool that we can now use is what we call as the pen tool. So yung common mechanics ng pen tool is once nag-click tayo, a point has made. Sa second click, may magagawa ulit na point. But the connection between the current point and the previous point would always be straight, like this. Instead of only clicking it, but we're gonna hold it for a little and then drag our mouse in a certain direction like this. The current point, this point, parang ina-anchor lang niya yung magagawang line from the previous point, this point, to the current point here. And then the curvedness depends on how far the cursor will be to our current point. And when I release it, yung curved line would be connected to the previous line, which is this. Now let's say we want to make a shape. Let's say we want to make a triangle. So we basically click to make a point, click again to make another point, and then again. Kapag tinuro natin yung pen sa particular point, yung circle na shape, that refers that our shape will be enclosed. So by clicking this, we made a triangle. Then by clicking V, we can select that some kind of triangular object. Now let's say we want to make an abstract shape. So we can do that by freely making shapes using pen tools, or using the pen tool. Then I'm gonna enclose it. Now, by rotating this, I can approximately make a droplet. Let's now go on to how to use the pen tool in making text boxes curved. So let's say we make another pen, or another pen object, like this. Oops. Oops, like that. Let's select it. Then right click the type tool. Then click type on a path tool. So by left clicking here, tapos dragging all the way sa kanan, we made a text box. So say yay. Yay. And kung di naman natin gusto na magkaroon ng outline yung ating pen tool, we can just click this and turn the stroke thickness into 0. So not only pen tool objects, Pero pwede rin natin gawing path yung mga polygons. Let's now go on to some advanced text effects. So aside from manipulating a text box, let's make a, where is it? Okay, let's make a sample text. Aside from manipulating the text in the text box, inside the properties panel, we can utilize more effects by right-clicking the text box and finding the effects. Here we have multiple text effects that we can use. Another way in opening this is by selecting this first, then going to the properties panel, then finding the effects FX symbol or icon so that we can navigate the same effects. So in this portion, I've just explored some of the effects in the effects options, and then I think that to describe them more effectively, instead of telling it verbally, it would be better if we try them personally by playing with the parameters and then just exploring them by yourselves. Hello everyone, welcome to our fifth topic on how to use Adobe InDesign. So for this topic, yung focus natin ngayon would be about object merging using the Pathfinder panel, along with object organization. Now, if we are to go to the Window tab, then navigate the Object and Layout section, then click Pathfinder, we're going to find multiple options here. But for now, the most common option that we'll be using in the Pathfinder panel would be the Pathfinder section, which consists of five types. So let's make two shapes. So here we have multiple, or at least two objects that are overlapping one another. Now in a canvas, whenever two or more objects overlap, one object must be on top of the other. Now if we want one object to be below the other, we can use the keybinds Control then left bracket to arrange it backwards, or Control right bracket to make it above the next object. Now going back to the Pathfinder, so now let's make five copies of these to demonstrate each type. Okay, so for the first type, if we are to select multiple objects, then click the add option, it basically combines the two objects. The next merging option here is what we call as a subtract option. So by clicking subtract, it basically subtracts the area covered by the topmost object, which in this case the circle, and delete it into a transparent space. So basically, kung ano yung nasa ibabaw, the circle, let's make it move. Kung ano yung kinover ng pinakaibabaw na object, ay siyang matatanggal. Next would be the intersect option. So whenever we select multiple objects and click this, only the part where both objects intersect would be kept. The next option would be exclude overlap. So that means, it typically means the intersected lines or the intersected parts would be the part that will be removed. So basically, it's the opposite of the intersect option. Next would be, and the last option would be minus back. If we recall recently kung ano yung nangyari sa subtract, only the area covered by the topmost object is being removed. Ngayon, kabaliktad na naman yung mangyayari once we click the minus back. So basically, it subtracts the backmost object area from the frontmost object. So these are the 5 options of object merges. Along with that, for instances where objects such as shapes overlap a text box, there is what we call text wrapping. So let's say we have a polygon here. Let's say a star. Then let's make a text box overlapping the star. Then let's give the text box some text there. So at first, the text within the text box is not being affected by any of the objects na nag-overlap sa text box. However, okay, so let me make the text box behind the shape. Then let's place this panel dito muna para malinis. Then by navigating to the window tab, then clicking the text wrap button, we now have the text wrap panel. So text wrapping basically manipulates how text behaves when a particular object overlaps the text box. So let's say we have this instance and we have this shape. If we click this option, which gives a wrapping around the object, it will gonna be like this. So by adding more padding, we can see that there is an imaginary wrapping that covers the sides of the object, such that when a text box overlaps it, iniiwasan ito. So this is how text wrapping works. So like that. But let's say we want to make another text box. That let's make this have a star word. Let's make this text have a font color of white. Let's click this, enlarge it. Then let's try to overlap here and make this above the star. So at first, since the star has a text wrap, even the star text box is being affected. So in instances like this na kung saan may mga text box na kailangang maiwasan yung text wrapping, and there are also text boxes na kailangan i-ignore yung text wrapping. Let's just click yung text box na ito, then hold Ctrl B to open the text frame options, or just navigate it in the properties panel here, the text frame options. Then check the ignore text wrap such that the text box ignores the text wrap of the star shape. So this is how we handle text wrapping in text boxes. Hello everyone, welcome to the 6th topic on how to use Adobe InDesign. So previously, we've talked about the merging of objects. Pinag-usapan din natin kung paano gumamit ng text wrapping whenever a certain or a particular object overlaps a text box. And also, we've talked about, I think, all of the necessary features in our previous lesson, like using the pen tool, the pencil tool, using the pen tool to make curved text boxes, using text effects, the basic text properties of a text box, manipulating colors using solid colors and gradients. We also talked about using the rectangular tool and the polygon tool. And na-cover din natin kung paano gumamit, kung paano mag-place ng mga image objects alongside with how to manipulate it. Now for this lesson, our first goal is to start making or start layouting a 4-page newspaper using the things that we've covered. So before doing that, kailangan muna nating i-save yung ating previous document, which is this. So to save, we can navigate to the File tab, then click Save, or we can basically click Ctrl and S. If you haven't saved it nung mga nakarang mga topics, we have to click Ctrl Shift S to save it into some kind of file. Now every InDesign document is in .ind or .indd depending on your current version. So basically we just need to change the file name here. Let's say my first document, and then save. So as we can see here in our folder, the document is being saved locally in our computer. So regardless kung i-X natin to, na-save naman natin siya in our previous, or rather, na-save naman natin siya sa computer. So wala namang problem dun. So let's now make a new file. So to make a new file, let's make the same with the same dimensions. A4, convert it into inches. Then make the bleed 0. And sa margin, well, personally, I usually make the margin 0.2. However, even though may margin tayo, we can, depending on the style that we want to execute, we can filter out objects na kung saan hindi siya pwedeng lumagpas sa margin. And we can also, or while still allowing other objects to pass through. Like for example, graphics like shapes, colors, and pictures can pass through the margin but not the text boxes. So that's one way to lay out a certain document with a margin. So right now, I think this is settled naman na. So let's create. Now in layouting a newspaper, one way or the first thing to do is of course to add multiple pages. So in a newspaper, or in at least in a 4-page newspaper, the first page will consist of the nameplate and then the news articles. The second page will contain the opinion articles, which is the editorial article, and the column articles, usually 2 column articles. The third page will be for the feature pages, or will be for the feature articles. Then the last page would be for the sports articles. But before that, before doing anything, before making a template of a certain kind, it's a good habit to first start with making the graphics or the elements. Well, hindi naman ito strict in a sense na it still depends on your preference, but for this topic, or at least for this session, let's first make our necessary elements before doing the template for our layout. So the first thing that we need to do is to make instances of our heading, or rather of our headline, decker, then the lead, and the body for the articles, para we can just copy and paste them. So headline, blah blah blah. Then decker. Then don't forget the byline. The lead, and then the body. So these 5 text boxes, or at least these 4, except for the decker, will be our usual text boxes for every article. So to start, let's make this bigger muna. Then right now, let's find a font. Siguro we can use Eudoxus Sans. Let's try regular muna. They are overset. Let's make the text box bigger. Oops. There you go. Then make the headline the thickest among the 5 text boxes. Then usually the decker is italicized, so let's make it italicized by going in the properties panel and finding this, which skews the text box. So just make sure na hindi siya ganun ka-skew to make it still readable. For the lead, this would be our second thickest. Then for the body, let's try doing this light. There you go. Now, aside from that, in terms of the byline, to make it unique among the 5 text boxes, let's make this all caps. Let's make this, or let's give it a bit of a graphics. So for now, yan muna yung gawin natin. Next thing would be to set their sizes. So usually the lead has a text size or a font size of 9. Okay, let's make it, or let's give it a placeholder. Well, the body is usually 8. Okay. The decker is usually on top of the headline and is smaller than the headline. So let's make it 10. There you go. Okay, now that we've prepared the text objects, let's now prepare our colors. So let's first make our color palette. I usually make it using circles. Tapos sa ating color palette, it still depends on your preference naman, pero let's make 5 colors. Wait, let's make this more convenient. And then another. There you go. Let's make this first red. Remove the stroke. And now, let's say we want our color to be, let's make this violet. Let's go here in the CMYK, pick some violet color. Aside from the solid colors, let's try to make our gradients. Next would be our miscellaneous graphics, like for the caption. Yes, for the caption. Usually the caption is just the same sa body pero mas maliit ng konti. Usually 7. So just a light warning, Whenever we make text boxes, try avoiding setting the text box less than 7 yung text size or font size. Kasi whenever na lumiit siya, baka hindi na siya magiging readable once na ma-print natin sila. Okay. Then, next would be our nameplate. So for the nameplate, sabihin natin since we've just made colors, sabihin natin Spectrum News. We can place them sa pasteboard. So, ayan. Huwag lang natin kalimutan na sila ay nariyan. So, let's now begin to do the first page. Okay, so in this portion, I've made the whole layout process in time-lapse because if we are to cover it in real time, we might take 2 to 3 hours to settle it. Pero despite being in time-lapse, try pa rin natin na pag-usapan yung mga points that we need to consider in layouting a 4-page newspaper. So, in the front page, there will be at least 3 articles, where one of that article is our banner news article, and then the rest would be our secondary news articles. So, sa ating banner news, dapat siya yung pinaka nag-emphasize na article sa front page. So, to do that, we've made the background of the article bright and saturated and colorful by giving it a green background. Ginawa rin natin siyang somehow hindi flat tignan by making it gradient rather than giving it a solid green color. And then aside from the background, to make it more emphasized, yung picture niya yung magiging pinakamalaking image sa front page. Along with that would be a quotation ng speaker na nasa picture. And another technique that we also did is to add a hammerhead, such that the hammerhead will both emphasize visually the main article and also emphasize the main context of the article. Then, on top, makikita natin yung ating nameplate and folio. So, usually, the folio is always either below or above the nameplate. And then next to the nameplate would be our ears. So, our ears is like, kumbaga sa pelikula, yun yung mga trailer ng mga next pages natin, such that may papakita tayo sa feature page, sa opinion page, and sa sports page. Dito naman sa ilalim, instead of only giving or only plotting the text ng ating secondary news, naglagay din tayo ng infographics. This is so we can prevent what we call as text flooding, in which parang nalulunod ang ating page sa sobrang daming text. So, what we did here is we added some infographics and also a picture for our secondary article. So if you're going to talk about the technicalities in the text objects naman, dito sa ating line spacing, it's a good practice to make the spacing of each line of our text boxes magkakadikit but not too tight, na kung saan hindi dumidikit yung mga tails ng mga letters like yung letter G, P, Q sa next line. This is because our goal here is to conserve more space while still keeping it readable. And then along with that, it is also a good practice to remove extra spaces or extra line spaces whenever we make another paragraph. And then aside from the line spacings, it's good to have indentations for every start of every paragraph such that we can either space it out like yung pwede natin siyang manually space na 5 to 8 space bars depending on our preference, or pwede naman nating i-adjust yung indentation spacing. Furthermore, dito sa lead, we can also make the first letter of our lead paragraph big by using drop capping or drop caps. Makikita natin yun sa control panel when we select the text box of the lead. And then dito naman sa ating mga infographics, just make sure na when a background is dark, the text should be light. And when the background is light, the text should be dark. That is because kapag both dark or both light naman yung text and yung background, most likely hindi siya ganon ka-readable.